come it's now that 90% of men, they are enjoying orgasms because their woman is giving them. But then the other way around, 10% of the women are the ones who have climaxed. How do you tell a man that has just come back from work after spending 8 hours at his shift there, and he just managed to do 2 minutes? Then you not tell him that, sir, but that was a bad one.
Sure. Travel with partner over friend. Yeah.
It's too late. Before we get into the show, I would like to share something that I recently realized. 67% of the people who watch this channel are yet to subscribe. And I understand that you might not even know it, but I would like to kindly ask you if you can right now click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. It really does help the channel grow and signal to YouTube to show it to more people. So please hit the subscribe button right now and let's cruise into today's episode. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sabi Cruise podcast. Today I have an amazing guest, one whom I'm pretty sure by the end of this episode, y'all are going to fall in love with all the gems and nuggets that he has to share. By name, Prince Adebare. How did you even come about with the Prince? The Prince part of it, because I know that's not your government name.
It's not my government name, but Prince became like, I've always gone by Prince, even like back home in Nigeria, but it's just not like my major name.
Are you related to like
I kind of like have that like family tree.
What's it called?
Like the royalty thing. Yeah, I actually have it in the family tree. They played it. But then, which is probably part of what we'll be discussing on this episode.
Tell me about the royalty, please. Right? I want to.
So the royalty part of me is just something like my dad didn't really pursue, right? So. And I guess it's probably well, my dad didn't pursue it. Like, where do I want to start from?
I mean, you can connect back to your roots.
Well, if I'm able to, maybe, but I don't think like I'm gonna be able to like reconnect back to that. I don't think so.
So you just kept the Prince.
Yeah, so I just kept the Prince. Like, even if my sister, like, no, she's
also princess.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're really Ade?
Yeah. If you see a lot of my name, my last name is Ade, my first name is Ade.
The Ade was just like, so many people these days, they still use the Ade. Ade is just like a name now. It doesn't necessarily mean it's related to royalty.
Even some of my other names, they carry like Ade. Like, it's actually like a thing. Even my sister, though, she has like her own Ade. My brother, he has his own Ade. So like, it's kind of like a thing for us.
So for those who might be non-Nigerians or not Yorubas, Ade is like a prefix word that is used for some Nigerian or Yoruba names that are related to royalty. They have some other prefixes too, right? Or
I think just Ade? But I can't think of anyone right now. But yeah, I think there are like a couple of those.
So you find a lot of Yoruba or Nigerian Yoruba people that are related to the royalties bearing things like Adedoyin, Adekemi, Adebimpe, Adebare, and so many other Ades like that. It's just Ade in itself is just crown.
Crown, yeah, Ade means crown.
So Ade actually means crown. That is
which has like do with royalty and all of those. Yeah.
So what do you actually do? Tell us.
Oh yeah, well, like she said, my name is Prince, and I'm a supply chain professional, and I am also like a professional photographer here in Toronto. And yeah,
the mass concept. You can't just say you're a photographer. You gotta tell us what you do, bro. What's your business name?
All right. I am a photographer, and my brand name is Mass Concept Photography.
Period.
You can probably like follow us on Instagram, on Pedad,
yes.
Right? Follow us on Instagram.
You need to pay me, run me my check. If you're marketing on my show, you need to run me my check. And to be honest, if any of you came across like our brand launch for Sabi Enjoy and Sabi Cruise, our pictures, I know that so many people have been asking me, what's your photographer? Yes, he was the one that took all the photos and the videos. Thank you so much for the hard work. We love it. Good memories and good branding.
Thank you.
Before we get into today's one, I actually want to start with a story. So we are starting things the other way around. We typically take our stories at end, but I found this really interesting story. So today we are doing two stories, and I found one that was quite interesting. So I want us to get into it. This is the cruise control part where we read letters from our listeners and give our own take, our unsolicited opinions and feedbacks. If you have any story, situation, or dilemma that you'd like to share, go ahead and use the link that we'll have in the description to send us your stories, and we're going to answer every single question that you have right here on the show. So we are going to take this one. My fiancé, 31 male, doesn't like to comment on my 30 female social media platform, including LinkedIn. I know he doesn't like to be present on social media. He doesn't like any of my posts etc., even though he watches the reels. But I had a huge accomplishment that I was proud about and posted it on LinkedIn. First, he told me he doesn't like to comment on anyone else's post, but I've seen him occasionally congratulate some people on their work anniversaries and such. Then, when I probed, he said that given our recent argument over the last few months, he doesn't feel very comfortable to publicly celebrate my accomplishments by commenting, but he's very happy to share in private how happy he is and proud of me. I am extremely hurt by his behavior because I think he's either protecting himself or doesn't find my accomplishments worthy of commenting or doesn't even just care enough. I don't know how to navigate this situation because I come from a family where even my small wins are celebrated, and this was genuinely a huge accomplishment that I was surprised by, and I'm super grateful and happy. Does anyone have suggestion on or advice on how to navigate this situation or train myself to not seek his validation? In quotes. This is an interesting one. You know why? One of the reasons why I wanted us to get into this particular story is because I do content on social media. This is something that I feel I can relate to 1000%, where if I'm celebrating something or I'm present and active and sharing my stuff on social media, if you're my friend or my partner, I 1000% expect you to engage. So what do you think about this? Let's get into it.
So first off, my question would be: are these guys married or just dating?
Fiancé, she said my
Fiancé. Oh, so they're engaged. Oof. Okay, so my take on this is going to be, I'll take it back to like the relationship stage, right? Before they actually got engaged, right? At the beginning of the relationship, right? What kind of foundation did they set, right? Did they ask the right questions, right? Did they set standards, all right? Because for me, I feel like, getting into a relationship, before you even get into a relationship, let's break it down, take it all the way back, right? Before you even get into a relationship, right? My own ideology is like, you should have an identity as a person, all right? Understanding who you are, what you stand for. And there's just something that says like, no, we are all somebody's idea, right? Because you didn't just come from heaven, or like, if like as a Christian, we believe like, no, we came like, no, from heaven, like, no, by our biological parents and all of those, right? So coming down on earth and all of those things, you've learned something probably based off your environment, your family, or whatever like means you've learned. So pretty much we are all somebody's idea, right? You pick your ideology, your concept from somewhere, right? So like, it's very important for you to like understand who you are, have an identity for yourself, right? So if you have an identity for yourself, it helps in like guiding or shaping who you choose to want to be in a relationship with, and then getting like engaged to, which in turn leads to marriage and all of those. And by the time you now choose who you want to like be in a relationship with, right? Once you guys start that relationship, there has to be like some, should I say, criteria or standards.
Standards, yeah.
Right. I think standards sounds much better. Like some standard that you've set. Like what do I expect from this relationship, right? Because if you've not defined some certain stuff, you can't like have expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't have an expectation of me when you've not told me, oh, you like this, you like that. And then there's some things like it's better defined at the beginning of the relationship. Don't come in between and then, like, for example, this person, if you've discussed stuff like this at the beginning of the relationship, saying, oh, I love to be celebrated publicly and stuff like that, and this person is having a problem with it, you are beginning to see probably like some possible reasons why both of you shouldn't be together, right? But technically, I wouldn't say, oh, don't be with this person, be with this person, right? You still have to like make that decision yourself.
She hasn't said it's a deal breaker for her though, but she's just saying that like, how should she navigate this without seeking his validation?
But from the way she's sounding, it's like it's getting to her.
Yeah, of course it's going to get to her. I am that person that, even though I wouldn't expect to have that conversation with my partner to say, hey babes, this is something that I would want you to comment and engage on my stuff. But I feel like if I'm just celebrating an accomplishment, it is literally like,
which will make you like, set this point, right? I always tell people like, there's a place of your partner like understanding you, trying to like know you and trying to understand how you want to be loved, right? There's also the place of you communicating to your partner how you want your partner to love you. I might be doing this, doing that, and all of those things, right? And it's more like, for me, I'm showing love, right? And in my head, in my space, I'm doing everything right, everything is good. But then to my spouse or to like my partner, it's like, that's not how I want to be loved. right? I'd rather maybe I'm buying gifts for my partner all the time, but then she'd rather I spend more time with her, right? That's like misplaced. Should I say misplaced priority, or like we are not
You're
eating
expressing your love in a
expressing
different
like in
way.
a
Yeah.
different way. So yeah, me, I'm showing you love the way I feel like, oh, I should show you love, but then there's a place of you communicating how you want to be loved, right? So I think this as so to answer this question, I feel like there's like some foundational issues over here that should have been discussed, right? Even before they go to the place of like
Being
then being
engaged.
engaged,
Yeah.
and then it's not really getting to you, right? And what I can just advise is you really want to like deal with stuff like this, all right, before you probably like proceed with the marriage and stuff like that. You want to deal with stuff like this. You should like you should want to understand why does it like feel uncomfortable like commenting on your post.
She said it's because they just recently had an argument. So that's why I feel this is a problematic situation.
Exactly. So
Because
we
for
have
me,
an argument, right? And then because of that, you don't want to like be associated with me publicly. That's what I would define it as, right? We have an argument, and because of that, you don't want to like comment on my post. You don't want to celebrate, like even if it's a small win.
but he's
And-
able to
and-
celebrate her privately.
but the lady, okay, she's fine with being celebrated privately, but she still wants to be celebrated publicly.
That is why I feel like the man messed up here.
All right.
Because
The man messed up, but you can't really say the man messed up if they have not set the standard.
no, I beg to differ, because I think
Mm-hmm.
like he is saying that the reason he's not doing that is because they just had an argument. I think that's very flawed. Because it's one thing for him to like already say, okay, maybe I don't like to comment on social media, I'm not active, and that's fine. I've been with partners that they are not active on social media, they don't even have social media presence, but like just a little celebration for your partner who just had a huge accomplishment, and she's told you that this is things that people in their family do. So our family members, they're always celebrating their wins, no matter how little. So it's naturally going to be expected of you as a partner. Now she's not getting to the point where she's starting to feel like, you know what, maybe I should no longer seek his validation and just go on about life and how to navigate this. I feel like the guy could step up actually.
Which is
Because it costs you nothing to be able to celebrate your partner who just had an accomplishment. Just because you guys had an argument doesn't mean you should shut that down.
which is what I'm saying. Certain standards, right? And I'll bring it to the perspective of we've had people that have just standards in their relationship, like, okay, you know what, regardless of if we are fighting, we never go to bed without saying good night. Right? That's kind of like setting a standard. Or regardless of if we had an argument, if you're stepping out of the house, you still have to give my hugs and my pecks, my kisses. You're setting a standard. Yeah, we
So
are
nobody
fighting.
needs to tell you that though. You should know.
That's the thing. Sometimes assumption, no. How do I word this? Sometimes we assume stuff a lot, right? Don't leave things to assumption, right? You still have to discuss it. Discuss things. Don't just expect somebody else to know. That your own expectation might not be my reality, right? You might think, oh, your spouse should know, like, okay, you know what? Even if you are fighting, like, you should still hug me before he goes out. That might not have been like the way he grew up. Right? That's not his own ideology. His own ideology is, oh, maybe when we are fighting, I have to like just walk away. All right? And maybe like I don't talk to her for the next 2 days. And if you've not set a standard of, okay, you know what, even if we are fighting, there are still some things we still have to do, regardless of whether we are pissed at each other or whatever, which is setting standards. Right? So regardless of they've had like a fight recently, I'm having like a major win. That should overrule whatever argument we've had, right? And something about you have to understand about relationship and marriage and all of these things. You can't always put yourself first all the time. There are times you have to put away like your ego, your emotions or whatever, and you have to put your spouse first. Right? There's that part. You can't always say you want. So it's just like, okay, for example.
So who do you think is not putting who first in this situation now?
That's why I say they need to have a discussion and be able to set some kind of standards. Understand, okay, this is what I look forward to in this relationship. This is how I want to be loved. Stuff like this, I appreciate. Stuff like this, I look forward to. They should be able to communicate that and have some established guidelines or standards as to how they want the relationship to run, which will in turn help them in the marriage, right? Because if they're having problems like this already in a relationship, trust me, there's much more that's to be unveiled.
I agree with you. I'm curious to know, have you always been that friend who is always giving relationship advice? Because you sound like you're so into it.
Honestly, yeah, to answer that question, actually, I would say yes, right? Because right from my teenage days, I think I'm just somebody that love to like see relationship thrive, right? Not just like even like romantic relationships, like even like friendly relationships, right? And dating a bad guy, I had this friend of mine, then I was like so in love with this girl, and I think there was a time when they had like issues and they had problems, and I tried to like step in. Even then, I didn't really like have like that
Enough
much
understanding.
knowledge or what I was trying to do. So I think it kind of just like a natural thing for me when I see people like struggling with stuff. I try to like, okay, you know what, see things from the positive side,
From a different perspective.
from a different perspective, and not just a different perspective, like a positive perspective. Oh yeah, you guys just like just have like a challenge. How can you like make it better? What can we do to like make it work? It can work if both parties are willing to like do what it takes to make it work. It can work. Although the other side to that is you don't have to force it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
There are times, okay, yeah, like you are trying to make it work, but
By
it's
all
more like,
means.
by all means.
Then at that
but
point
then
in time-
you are just forcing it, right?
But then how will you now know when you're forcing it? I feel like there are so many things that will give it away for you at some point. When you're trying too hard, you just be like, maybe at this point in time, just let it go.
So
Maybe you're forcing it a bit too much.
what I would say to answer that is to be able to like clarify between when you're forcing it and when you're actually like trying to make it work
Putting
is
in effort.
putting in the effort is the effort has to be from both parties.
Mutual. Okay.
It has to be mutual, right? If it's just one person like
That's trying.
putting themselves in, trying, and the other person is not even reciprocating, trust me, and that's just relationship.
Yeah.
And not just this knowledge or ideology that, okay, you know what, the guy is always chasing like when they are trying to get you, but then during the marriage they relax,
That's true though.
right? And honestly,
true,
that's
though.
another thing. That's another argument, like
That's
we might
true,
have.
though.
That's another argument we might have.
Men do that before they get the babe.
The truth about it is, it's all about perspective here.
Perspective what?
Right? It's all about perspective. Because the truth about it is, if you understand, if you look at some scenarios, right, there are times where when the guy is chasing you, there are some things that as a lady you are doing to make the guy want to continue chasing you.
So?
And then when you get into marriage too, as a lady, you stop doing those things, and you expect the guy to keep. No, it takes two to tango. It comes from both parties.
Basically, you're saying that the women should still continue to do those things that will make the guy continue to chase.
Exactly. You have to make a guy you have to make a guy desire you, want
Let's
to
say,
like
for
come after
example,
you.
now when we are still in the talking stage, you're
Yeah.
asking me to go out on a date for dinner or whatever. Then now we now get married. You don't need to like. I would not give you that same reaction of, oh, when are you free? I'm not free this weekend, next weekend. It's not going to be the same anymore.
That's
So
it.
how will I be making him chase me?
But like aside like going for dinner, there are some other things and probably like some other qualities the guy might probably like seen in you that wants to like make the guy chasing, right? So for example, you might have seen maybe like you're a go-getter, or maybe the way you dress, the way you speak, and there's this ideology of some ladies once they get into marriage, then the way they dress just kind of like
They'll be
changes.
dressing like mommy.
Exactly, all of that changes. Then even at that point too, when he was chasing you, you probably show him like some level of care too, to make him feel like, I need to keep chasing this lady. She's giving me some attention, just caring about me. But then you get into the marriage, now you're all about, I'm so busy, I'm focused with work, I'm working on this project, working on that project.
I disagree with all these things you have said. I
No,
disagree.
no.
I disagree. I said who is entitled to our opinion, I disagree. And
Which
I'll
is
tell
fine.
you why.
Okay.
My reason is this. I feel like effort still can come from both parties to make the
100%.
relationship fun.
100%.
And as a man, no matter what, you still have to continue to chase your wife even when you're married to her. How do you chase her? You come up with ideas of ways that she can feel excited. Chasing is not necessarily having to put you under pressure or having to make you feel like you're doing something No, it is literally you just doing those one or two things that makes her excited, that gets her surprised, that gets her less stressed. That's just the barest minimum that you can do as a partner. You saying that putting in lesser and lesser effort. Men do that after they get the babe, they give up, they forget, and start to act like
I will tell
they're
you,
really the same guy that was chasing.
I will tell you, it takes both parties for this thing to work. It takes both parties for this thing to work. And something I always tell people is, when you're going through a relationship, go with the mindset of, I'm going to give, not necessarily to receive.
Why? As I'm going into that relationship, I'm giving and receiving.
Wait. Let me explain this. I'm going to give. Also, let's say, for example, we want to go into a relationship, and I'm coming with the mindset of, I want to give, right? And you are coming with the mindset that you want to give. Once you are giving, who is receiving? I am receiving. Once I'm giving, who is
But
receiving?
you're forgetting that that's not our natural human state of mind. Humans are naturally selfish. That is who we are. That is how we're created. We want to put ourselves first at all times. I understand that you should always think about your partner, but I don't know that you are going into a relationship 100% because you want to give.
Which is part of like some of the processes you should have gone through during like the dating stage. That's what like dating stage, courting stage. That's what it's all about. Starting to like learn how to like be able to like put your partner first in some instances. Yeah, there might be times where you have to put yourself first, understandably, right? But there are times where you have like intentionally, right, put your spouse interest first, right?
Yeah.
Willing to like give to them. Not about what you can receive. I think
also like even all the time, apart from just putting them first, always putting them into consideration is what I would personally say. There are times that obviously even if you are still putting yourself first, you just want to always make sure that at all times you are putting your partners into consideration, their feeling, how they are going to take something, whatever it is, always put them into consideration. I don't know about really putting them first all the time, but
that's right, this all the time.
Into consideration.
I said there will be times where you put them first, there will be times where you put yourself first, right? I'm not saying put them first all the time. Right, but the major thing here is like you are looking out for their best interest,
yes.
Right? And if both of us are doing that interchangeably, you're looking out for my best interest, I'm looking out for your best interest, then both of us are technically receiving, right? So when I say, oh, you go with the mindset of you want to give, it has to be both ways.
So how come? Okay, now I'm going to get into the spicy part of
things.
How come it's now that 90% of men they are enjoying orgasms because their woman is giving them, but then the other way around, 10% of the women are the ones who have climaxed. So the remaining 90% of them are not. So are we saying that the men are not? They're not looking out for their partners here.
So there's the place of communication.
Okay.
Right. Like what you said right now. Right.
You know, this is a significant problem that a lot of marriages have.
Yeah, honestly, I know. Like, because I talk to a lot of people, right? And honestly, some people have been like vulnerable enough, like open up on stuff like this to me. And what I ask them is like, have you communicated this to your partner?
And what do they typically say?
Some of them they don't. They have not.
Because a lot of men have ego. A lot of men have ego. Like most women, the reason why they wouldn't communicate these things is because they don't want to bruise their husband's ego.
All of this.
How do you tell a man that? No, wait, hear this out. How do you tell a man that has just come back from work after spending 8 hours at his shift there, and he just managed to do 2 minutes? Then you not tell him that, sir, but that was a bad one. How do you say that?
This is what I would say, right? If you are with somebody in the first place, I feel like you should like develop both of yourselves to a level where you're able to like open up about stuff that's bothering you to your spouse, right? So you being able, and your spouse should be able to like understand you. So number one, there's the way you communicate it, right? It's not just is that all like I do? No, like it's like you are attacking me. And technically for a guy, if they feel attacked, the automatic thing they want to do is like get defensive. They want to shield, right? That's how it happens. But if you come from a place of like love, that like you might even appreciate the little is done, right? Before you now ask for more. Oh, like that was good, that was amazing, but I wish like we can do this. And sometimes you can help that process by even coming up with some potential solutions.
Why am I teaching you as a man how to
see, this is teamwork. It's teamwork.
Okay, true. I love that you said teamwork.
It's teamwork. and it would probably break you to like another part of like marriages. When you're going into marriage, nobody's superior than each other. Right? It's just like when you're at your place of work and you're working on a project, even if there's a team lead, that does not mean like the team lead is superior to like the other team members. It's just the one responsible for like handling the team. Right? And like for example, you see like people go to the Bible and say, oh, the man is the head of the home, right? Making you the head does not mean like you are superior, right? It just makes you responsible for the family you are creating, right? But still, both of you are a team. Nobody's better than each other. Nobody's superior than each other. You are working together towards a common goal. And if you have that mindset of we are trying to achieve a common goal here, whereby the lady reaches climax and then the guy gets orgasm too, right? Both parties have to like work hand in hand to make this happen.
No, wait. Now, me, I'm even wondering, right? Because I know that as some people are listening to this episode, they know that we are talking about their situation. So now, let's say there is a woman listening to this episode and she knows that she's not getting pleasure from whatever she's getting from her man or her husband or whatever. How would you recommend she communicates this to her partner in a way that will not bruise his ego.
So you have to understand, like, there's timing to everything too, right? Like you said, a man has gone for like 8 hours of work, came back, and then is trying to like
Give you 30 seconds.
and is trying to please you, right? Honestly, that could have there might be like different factors that even contributed to that. It might be tired, there might be a lot on this mind, so many
They're
things that have
always
contributed to
tired, I
that.
beg.
No, they might. So that's why you have to understand, like, there's timing, right? And honestly, there are some like stuff that helps like boost like the immune system and probably like performance too, right? And you can even like probably like introduce like your husband like some healthy stuff that will help boost his performance.
So
no,
so wait, you just go, your man did not perform well. Next thing you do, you give him Viagra.
no, I'm not saying Viagra. Please don't quote me, right? There are ways to go about this, right? Don't just jump in the market and just go buy any like sex, housemate, whatever, and just be giving your spouse me talk about, right? But still, like, there are ways to like walk around stuff like.
So how do you have that conversation with him?
So like I said, first off, aside like the conversation of like you like not getting pleasure in the place in the bedroom, right? You shouldn't be able to like reach that level where you're able to like discuss with your spouse whatever you are going through.
If you have ever thought, I want to make more money, but I don't know where to start, then listen up. I've created different online programs where I teach you how to earn more, save smarter, and grow your income without the flaw. From learning the right side hustles to content creation, or maybe you want to learn investing or join my exclusive community, Smart Money Group. I've built out practical programs that meet you where you are. You'll find options like Creator Income Accelerator, Investing Simplified, Smart Money Group, and the e-learning course for folks who wants to do it at their own pace. Everything is designed to help you multiply your skills and your income. If you're serious about taking control of your finances, head over to smartmoneymastery.co and choose your path today. Let's get back into the episode. Okay, so how did they have that?
So if you've been able to like attain that level of where you're able to like discuss like everything and anything with your spouse, right? I think you should be able to like understand how to like table the topic before your spouse.
Oh, so let's put these things to perspective.
Okay.
Because we're giving such vague recommendations here. Let's say you're like the one in the situation where you want to communicate to your wife. Oh yeah, tell us how you tell her.
So honestly, so this is what I tell people, right?
How you tell your wife?
She said like vague recommendations, right?
Yes.
Because some of these things are like
they're not one size fits all. Yeah.
They are like person specific, right? So the way I will communicate to my wife or my woman depends on who I'm married to. It depends on my woman, right? I probably would have I would have to like understand like the best way to communicate to her and the timing, right? So there are sometimes like if you speak to your spouse, your woman, she might get the wrong message. You just vex, say, I'm trying and this and that, and that's where you now see someone start like play some emotional card of I've gone to work, I came back, I cooked for you, I'm taking care of the kids, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it creates a whole lot of mess. All right, this is just supposed to be like a gentle conversation, right? It could come from a place of babe, we've been doing things this way. Can we try this method? That means I've probably gone to research and say, okay, you know what? Maybe if I have if I do this like this with my wife like this in the bedroom, I should be able to get this result, right? So I've done like some background work, right? So I can just get to bed and I'm like, oh, babe, we've been doing it this way. Can we try this? Can we try that? And then we start like, from coming from that perspective, she might not start to enjoy it, or she may not. It depends, right? But she might end up like falling in love with it. Oh, like, yeah, this good. Oh, where did you learn that from? Right? You are building some curiosity. Right? And then it might turn like even like get like more curious to like, okay, let me go and learn it too. My husband is putting in some effort. Let him to put in some effort.
That's actually very interesting. I appreciate you sharing that.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm curious to hear from our listeners. How will you relay a message to your partner who has been underperforming in the bedroom? How do you relay that message to them? Men and women, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, leave your comments below. I want to know.
Men and women, not boys and girls.
Okay. No, we can revert to them by any name. Married, okay, let's put it very well. Married men and women.
Yeah, couples, just for couples. Yeah.
Leave a comment below. We are very curious to hear from you. I want to know, maybe I can take notes for when I'm married.
Yeah, and honestly, like if they have questions you want to drop, I'm more than willing to like answer questions.
Yes.
If it's like no person specific, it could be like anonymous. You don't have to like leave your name.
Yes,
You can leave your
use the form below. We are
yeah,
going
leave
to
anonymous questions.
we're going to get into
if
it.
I see the comments, I can try to like step up and
going
like
to reach
comment on some of the posts. I'll probably like drop whichever way I'm able to like get out.
You know how they always say that your upbringing would affect your relationship and or your marriage, your dating life, and even friendship dynamics as well. I'm wondering, has there been any myth that you used to have when you were growing up and you have changed that perspective now? Has there been anything of such for you?
Very good question. Very good question.
I took you unawares.
Yeah, I think I
was the point.
Definitely, there are so many stuff I've changed about like my upbringings, things I've seen like while growing up, and I would love to do differently. And I think this probably like not just particular to maybe like my family. I think it's particular to like the environment
Society
as well, to society, right? In a typical like African like household. Where you see like the way they raise up the kids. Some people like parents showing love like in a different like parents think they are showing love, but they are not actually showing love, right? You see some parents being like very difficult to be able to like say sorry, to apologize to their kids, and parents shying away from the topic of like sex and all of these things. We have to understand like these things need to be discussed, right? And there's nothing bad in you apologizing to your child or to your kid, right? So many things, so many ideologies that we've grown up with in like the African like society or in the African household that needs to be changed, right? And aside even like me like growing up, I wanted to change these things. We have to come to a place of understanding that there are some ideologies that have been outdated, right? So something might have worked for your parents during their own time. If you try the same this age and era,
it will not work.
It's gonna be a big fail.
I feel like marriages, relationship, and everything, even in this day and age, they are no longer the same.
It's no longer the same. It's gonna be a big fail.
And it's a bit scary because that's why the rate of divorce in this day and age has increased significantly. People can no longer cope with each other. It's like those things that our parents sat through. Women these days, they can not
it's all about ideology. Right, it's all about ideology, and that's when we started the podcast. I asked the question of like, whose idea are you? You're probably somebody's idea, right? You saying, oh, you cannot take this thing, you cannot cope with it. It's just an idea. It's a concept in your head, right? That same thing you are saying you cannot take with your spouse. In a different environment, in a different scenario, with a different person, you probably would take it.
Yes.
Which means like it's probably like not a case of you not being able to like accommodate that. It's just a place of like you getting yourself to that like space,
mental space,
to that mental space of where you understand. Okay, you know what? Me and this person, we are a team. We are working towards a shared goal, right? And this probably will bring you to the part of okay, when you're even going to when you're going to a relationship, you have to set the right foundation, set the right standards. Right, because that's what you're gonna build on.
But you also know that, like, apart from like the standards and everything that you said, there are some partners that bring out certain traits in you as well. Because you might have your identity, which is something you've been speaking about, but some partners would also bring out some traits in you that you did not even realize that you had in the first place. You know how sometimes I can relate to this. There are some men that I speak to that they bring out my feminine energy. Like I'm just with them. I just want to feel so chill. They make me feel like I can trust that they will take the lead and rely on them and just tune off my brain, which is what I would like to do with my partner. However, there are also some men that will bring out my masculine traits where I'm on the edge and I'm hyper conscious about certain things. So are you going to now say that it's me that don't have an identity in that situation?
So my response to that will be part of the reasons why you are having an identity and understanding yourself is to be able to help you choose the right partner. Because something you have to understand is you are choosing the right partner, right? So from understanding your identity, from knowing who you are, right? At least having an idea of who you are. We are not saying, oh, I have everything all figured out, right? But let's have an idea of who you are. That will in turn help you to shape the kind of men you talk to. Right? Because if you don't have an idea of who you are, if like they say, like if you enter a relationship for the wrong reasons, you probably will go in with the wrong partner, right? Because you enter for the wrong reasons, so you don't even know what am I supposed to look out for? What am I supposed to know? What are the qualities I'm supposed to look out for in a partner and all of those? Then you probably will end up with the wrong partner, which is why probably you now encounter problems like that of you being with somebody that's bringing out the masculine side of you. right?
Wait, so I'm the problem.
Sometimes, I'm not saying always, right? But sometimes too, right? You might not be the problem. You might just be like very good that you attract both good and bad.
Okay.
Not because you are bad, but because you are very good. And
I'm too sweet.
right? And honestly, like once you carry value, right? Everybody wants to like associate with it.
So both good and bad people. No wonder.
Right? Right. So that's so it could be that in a place, and it could be a place of, okay, you know what? Once you understand yourself, you have that identity. You know, like some kind of men that, okay, once they will say hello, it's like bye.
Yeah.
Right. And there are some men, once they say like hello, you probably give them like at least a little moment to like see, and maybe like after like a few encounters, bye. Right. And there are some people like once
Like
they come in,
entertain them for too long.
exactly. And there's some people like, once they come in, okay, you know what, there's something here, there's something we can build, there's something we can work on.
Nurture it.
Right, then you can nurture it, and then from there you start like build like the right foundation, study the right standard. And part of studying the right standard is like, having like your conflict management, like how do we manage it when we are arguing. Right, which probably like brings us back to that story of if they've been able to like establish some kind of like conflict resolution like strategy, that would probably have helped them in that point. Like, okay, even when we are angry, we don't like throw tantrums over here,
Each other,
right?
yeah.
Because you are angry does not mean, you now go out and sleep out for tonight, right?
Don't even bother coming back home. Just stay there. Continue to live there.
Right.
You no longer have a home. Don't come back.
Exactly,
Like, what
right.
the heck? What kind of... Please,
Right.
please.
And
If you're a man and this your behavior, get out of this room right now.
it's not just men, women. Some women too are like
So,
that.
like,
some women are like that. It's
that's
both
actually
parties.
quite interesting.
And
If I'm wondering, so you be a woman, you just leave...
they go to their friend's house. Yeah, they go and
Because
do
you have
girls.
to
They go and do girls' night.
No. Okay, well, maybe I'm just being biased here because I can't even imagine, like, I would not leave my own house. Bro, that's not possible in my home.
Like you would have
And
done it
that's why I'll be
differently.
so pissed if my partner leaves the house because we get it.
It's even some.
Like, go and come back.
It's even some
If
women
you are
that-
annoyed, take a walk, go on a run, and come back to the house.
It's even so, but the thing is, that could be like a conflict like resolution strategy, right? That could be.
And you go out
But
for 2 days.
no. Which what you said, say like, go for a run and come back.
Yeah,
take
because
a walk
it's
and
okay
come
for
back.
you to need your space. It's okay for you to say, okay, you're going to take another bedroom or something else, but not coming back home.
And that is a conflict resolution strategy,
In whose
right?
house? Our house. It's not
Right?
possible.
Even some people, their own strategy is, even though we fight, we are still sharing the same bed.
Yes.
You are saying like, okay, you might be okay with like, stay in another room, but some people,
No, I'm not even necessarily saying like spending the night apart. I'm just saying like maybe you might want to stay in your study or you want to just take some time to ease off and relax. I'm not saying necessarily spending the night there, but just like taking some time alone and take a space. Go on a run, go out for a drink, do whatever. But like that, you would not come back to sleep.
which is why like, what works for
I just feel like that's disrespect. If my partner does that to me, we're going to whatever we are fighting about to be it's going to be secondary.
that's gonna be the major issue. Which is why like,
what about that? Like, what the heck?
which is why like what
Where are you going to?
works for A
You're not running away.
might not work for B.
I'm not going anywhere when
Right?
this marriage together.
Exactly. But that's how like, what you're saying right now is probably a communication you both of you would have to have and set that standard that for no reason, like, are we having an argument and then you go on you go out without coming back home.
Yeah.
Right? For no reason, are we having an argument
sometimes
and then you raise your voice at me.
Yeah.
Some people have to have that.
But
Right?
sometimes these things, until those fights or those issues come up, before you now realize that, okay, this is something I have to communicate to this person. It's not necessary that, because if a situation hasn't happened where he didn't come back home, then I wouldn't know that I need to tell him that, bro, that's unacceptable by me.
See. Regardless of him going out and not coming back for 2 days or whatever the case may be, if you've been like set some conflict resolution strategies or standards, right? It knows that would guide his decision-making process, right? He might not necessarily like attack like every possible like scenario, but at least he has that understanding, okay, you know what? When we have an argument, we don't run away from each other. We actually stay to fix it. We're here to like work this out. We're here to fix it. Right? So that kind of like guy, then at that point, if you have that understanding of, okay, you know what, when we have arguments, we might take like a quick break, but we are coming back to fix it. That can guide him like, okay, you know what, I'm just taking a quick break. And my quick break is not 2 days,
Not
3
too
days
far.
out.
It's not too
far,
long.
right?
It's
we have
soon.
we have to like fix this, right? there's nowhere to run to. That's part of like having those strategies. Even though you don't know like what scenario you're gonna apply it for, but you're having that strategy in place.
Quick break from the convo, because if you have been dreaming about traveling, making new connections, or living your best life without blowing the bank, then I would love to invite you for an experience with Sabi Enjoy. Sabi Enjoy is my travel brand that focuses on creating travel experiences for your enjoyment. We create unforgettable group trips, private escape, custom itinerary, and our very own Sabi experiences. So if you are tired of waiting to travel with your friends, or you don't want to deal with the stress of planning trips, don't worry, Sabi Enjoy has got you covered. We are all about helping you travel more, stress less, and feel deeply connected along the way. The best part is we also offer payment plans for your convenience. How cool is that? Head over to sabienjoy.com to join any of our experiences. Now let's get back to the show. Have you ever used dating apps?
Use dating apps? I would say yes. No,
it's a yes or no answer.
I'll say yes.
Okay.
Right, but I wasn't on there for more than a month because
do you feel like dating? Okay, if you were not there for so long, then maybe you don't have answer to this, because I'm wondering what you think about dating apps and how it's like shifting relationships in this day and age.
Honestly, I wouldn't really say dating apps are bad. Right, it's just not my thing. Not because it's bad. It's just a case of how you use it, pretty much, right?
Dating apps these days have turned into
exactly. People are there now for the wrong reasons. Exactly. People are now on there for the wrong reasons.
But people still find connections there. I have a friend that met her husband there, and her brother met his wife there as well. So people still meet.
Yeah, people still use it, honestly, and that's why I say it depends on the reason.
Like, how do you meet people in 2025?
That's why I say it depends on the reason on which, like, you went on the dating app, right? Not everybody on the dating app are there for the right reasons, right?
True.
And some are there for the right reasons, right? So that's why I wouldn't say, oh, dating app is bad. It's worked for some people and it's like worked amazingly well, right? So yeah, I'm kind of like indifferent when it comes to like dating apps. But personally, I think I was there for like a month. It wasn't really my thing. So generally, social media is not my thing. So that's probably like why dating apps like didn't really work for me. And I don't
know if I'll consider dating apps social media though. I feel like they're just another tool. That's the same way you use ChatGPT. You really call ChatGPT social media?
It's kind of like, well, I wouldn't say they're exact, but maybe like similar. Right.
Or maybe because you are actually, it could be because it's for relationships.
And it's like kind of like messaging and all of those things. Yeah. So
it kind of makes sense to. That's
so all of those brackets are really like not my thing. So I guess that's why I didn't stay too long on a dating app.
But okay, well, that's interesting because I had so many questions.
Go ahead.
About dating apps, but I don't feel like you can relate to it. So I'm just going to jump and pass. What do you feel like is some of the biggest struggles that like couples these days are having, that is keeping them from having that relationship or that marriage that blossoms in these days?
So what I would say is sometimes marriages or newly wedded couples, they want to mirror a different marriage, right? I would say this thing, like when I say like your marriage is kind of like you pick your ideas of marriage from probably like a previous couple, an older couple somewhere, whatever,
or your parents,
you're an older couple. Some people even pick from like their friends and stuff like that. So where you pick your idea of marriage is very, very important. Right.
Or you can also pick bits and pieces from different parts, different people.
Which that is probably like what I'm driving to, right? You picking pieces like from different people should help you to like curate your own personal journey, right? It shouldn't be a case of you want to mirror somebody's marriage. No. What worked for them, and like I said, some ideologies are outdated, right?
There are like some your ideology of husband and wife material. Very outdated.
I never did. I say husband and wife? Okay, yeah, just bring that up. Yeah, so and I think you mentioned something probably like when we were discussing behind the scene of when some people go for marriage counseling and then the counselor is always saying, wife submit to your husband, wife submit to your husband. Right?
I don't think there's anything wrong with women submitting to men, because I'm a Christian and I believe in the Bible, and according to what the Bible says, men should submit to their I'm sorry, women should submit to their
So-
husband.
so the thing-
But the part that men are forgetting is the part that the Bible says men should love their wife like Christ loved
Wait,
the church. So
wait,
in reality,
wait.
let me scatter the
finish up.
floor. In
Okay.
reality,
Okay.
women do not owe men love. All they owe you guys is
Oh
submission.
wow!
according-
That is definitely a wrong teaching.
According
Don't
to
listen
the
to
Bible-
her, right? Because you know what?
No, but
Recently-
according to the Bible.
No.
No, but it's the Bible.
So the
though.
thing is,
Don't-
so
Women
something
owe
I will
men
tell you. Something I will tell you right now is
submission.
the Bible. The Bible is kind of like a summary, right? And you have to like read the Bible with understanding, right? And when the Bible even says like women should submit to your husband, right? You have to define what submission is, right? Because submission means different things to different people, right?
I thought submission means to cook and clean. That's the definition in my own culture. In our own background.
Which are some of the ideologies that worked then, but are probably like outdated now. Which is why I keep like stressing the fact of like, no, there are some like processes that are outdated with time. Things are fast changing, right? We're in a jet age or whatever, Gen Z, Gen whatever, like or what we are right now. So some things that even probably like work now in our generation, in the younger generation right now, the Gen Z or Gen Alpha, whatever it is, it can't work for them.
Yeah. And
So now,
I was just kidding.
yeah, I get you, but I think it's just a good. I would just like, I just love to like touch on that point, to like let you like know what. Yeah, it might have worked for our parents, might have whatever, right? And then submission to them, their own based of their understanding of submission. That's how they practiced it.
So
in
what
their
does submission actually mean to
right?
Submission by your wife. What does it mean to you?
So I will probably like digress a little bit before I come back to that. I would say there's been like some teaching where you'd be like, when you say like, the major thing a man wants is respect, and the major thing a woman wants is to be loved, right? But
Provided for.
But then I throw that question out. I'll be like, which woman does not want to be respected? Would you love to be respected? Do you want to be respected? Let's put it that way.
Of course.
Exactly. So when you get,
I'm not the one that came up with that idea.
That's what I'm just saying, right? That there are some kind of like teachings, right? When you like listen to like some kind of like probably like marital coach or whatever, right? They need to change their curriculum, right? So if probably like people,
I feel like women want you to provide more than they want love. Who came up with that love stuff?
It's just
more women want you to provide
all of
that love.
All of these things are just like people's ideologies, right?
Which is why like it's very, very important the kind of information that you consume.
Exactly.
I personally, when it comes to like dating, relationships and all, I intentionally tune out of 99% of information from social media, and it's very, very it's very intentional. It's not because I don't think that what they're saying makes sense. It's just because I just prefer to have my own perspective and learn from real world scenarios, like real people, not like, because some of the things, like I said, like what part did I say now? That I just said that women do not owe men love and all of this. Somebody can just pick that part and take it serious. That's why I had to clarify that I was just joking.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because somebody can see that part and think that, oh yes, this is correct. And me, I was just saying my own.
And the thing is, it might be correct for you, but not correct for them.
Period.
It might work. You see some women that are out there and be like, oh, I don't want to work. I just want a man that will take care of me. Would they find a guy like that? They will.
Yeah.
Right? But then
when am I going to find that guy? But that would just be like, say, oh baby.
But then the downside to that is sometimes some women find men like that, but they don't end up enjoying the marriage. Some people will find it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right? So like to each his own. Right?
I don't know if I could possibly enjoy a partner that all they just do is just like, that's it, like, oh, they're just caring.
Exactly.
I want somebody that will challenge each other.
Exactly, right? Which is why for you now, you have some background understanding, and when you want to choose a spouse, you have some things that,
okay, you know what? I've not chosen my spouse, but because I've not shown you engagement ring.
Well, I guess, right? Well, they'll say like, if you never like put ring on them, like, sorry, you're still
in the
single.
market.
Right, so I'll just say that like everybody has their own like different ideology of marriage.
So
what marriage should be like.
I answered my own definition of submission.
Submission.
In your own context, your own definition of what your own partner being submissive to you according to what the Bible says. What does that mean to you?
My own partner being submissive to me is pretty much like she like being ready to work with me. Right, I'll put it out. She been ready to work with me, right? Which is like she understands like I'm the head, All right.
Head of the family.
But me being the head does not mean I'm superior. Right. And I will explain that, which is, for example, you're like a finance lady, right? And maybe for me, like finance is like not my area of strength, right? But because I now say, oh, I'm the head of the home, and now say I have to like take care of the finance, I'll be like, why would I be struggling with it when you are there to like make my life easy, right? You see some people like in their home, the guy is a very good chef, can cook like really good meals. But you're not be saying because of the allergy of like somebody came with the allergy of women should be able to really want to cook and do this. Like why? Why? If my woman can like work so well and make like bring us $1 billion contract, why would I now want to like suppress that and say no, she shouldn't. She should like I'm the head, so she shouldn't do that, right? So I would say like submission is different from person to person, and I would say we get our definition of submission based off who I'm involved with, right? Because if I'm expecting her maybe to like do some certain things, but it's going to like not be comfortable for her. Because the truth about it is, if I'm expecting submission too, right, I have to be considerate, right? Even though like she's going to like try to like put effort and maybe like give up some self-will, I can't just like take advantage of that.
Yeah, I always say this like mumu button is something that you have. You being a good person is knowing not to use it,
not to take advantage of it,
like not to abuse it, because you know that I have this woman's mumu button.
In all fairness, just sometimes you will tap into it.
Like why?
Right?
Why would you want to tap into your partner's mumu button? Because
sometimes that's what I said. Sometimes,
like why?
Sometimes,
wondering,
right?
Why?
Like it depends on the scenario, right? I don't have a perfect
like
picture.
You just knowing that this person will do anything for me doesn't mean that you should not take advantage of that. In my opinion.
Yeah, right. So the thing is,
you knowing that is just for your own understanding.
So the thing is, you tapping into it. There's a place where you two like she will be able to like tap into your moon, but you'll be like well don't know, just because you just know I love you, Abby. Just like carry on, right?
Well,
you can have fun about it.
It's just in a fun way. I understand that.
So
you taking advantage of it, just like abuse of power.
You just said if it's in a fun way, but it's only partners that describe their own definition of fun.
True, sure.
Right? To them, if it's like fun to them, it's fun. Yeah. To some other couple, they might take it serious and be like, it's almost like the end of the world.
Nobody use my mumu, but I be mumu for love. Everything I will say, tomorrow, like, I don't even remember anything. I don't get standard. I don't even remember anything. I don't have standard. I'm just a mumu. So please don't use my mumu. But
no, honestly, you should have to become to that place of like.
Yeah, but like that's also part of being in love, where you are vulnerable. You are vulnerable with that person. You're just a mumu. You just
and then vulnerability comes both ways. Yes. It's not just one person being vulnerable. It comes both ways, right? Yeah. And when both of you are vulnerable to each other, you would not really feel as if it's using my mumu button.
It's taking advantage of it.
Because both of you are just like giving. That's why I say like it's all about coming to like you want to give to the other person, right? You're not necessarily like looking at or focusing on what I can get, right? And that's where like the problems start sometimes. When you're not really giving out, what I can get, what I can get. It's not like exactly. So it's just like when you do like sometimes I tell people like you have to treat your relationship like a project, right? If you're working on the project and then the other person just like take. Sorry,
it's a project.
Exactly, but not everybody understands that it's a project, right? Some people just like I see fine, but I see fine, let's date, right? And then you start to date. You're not like some level of like defined goals. What is the end goal of this relationship? Okay, want to get married? Okay, yeah, get married is fine, right? When we get married, want to raise a family. What kind of family do you want to raise, right? How are we gonna raise up the kids? How do you manage finances? How do we like manage like different aspects of the home? Right? What's your area of strength? What's my area of strength? How can we complement each other? Okay, both of us have like same weaknesses. How do we plan to like deal with this? Because it's both of us, we have weaknesses in this area. So how are we going to like solve it? So those are like some of the questions you need to answer. There are a lot more questions you have to answer, and that comes based off like you getting to like know each other. And that's from that, and that's why I say like dating and courting stage is not a place of just like like the mushy, let's go on dinner dates, let's go on this, let's go on that. It's about having like real serious conversations, right? Some people might feel like
I don't want to talk every day. I've been talking all day.
No, it's
please,
not every day.
Don't come and be bringing a job to me. Let's not talk. Let's talk. Let's talk seriously.
So I'll put it like this: if you're at your place of work and you're working on a project, like maybe let's bring it to like probably like no a scrum team, something like that. I don't know if you have an idea of what a scrum team is, right?
Come on, I worked as a business analyst.
Oh yeah, sorry, right?
Just because I'm no longer in workforce doesn't mean that I don't know this thing.
Right? Like if you have a scrum team, you have like your developer, you have like your scrum master, and then you have like your product owner, right? Everybody's working as a team, right? So it's not a case of maybe this person is better than each other or whatever, right? We are all working towards a shared goal, right? And one should like start like okay, let's say you want to work on a sprint, right? There's like a product goal in mind. You have like a goal in mind, which is same thing, right? When you're going to a relationship, right? We have a goal in mind, right?
Which should be what?
It's a difference from person to person.
Should be marriage is what I'm expecting.
No. So when I'm saying goal, it's even more than marriage, right? Okay, so there might be different levels of like milestones, right? To like achieving like that
yes,
bigger picture,
exactly.
right? And you getting marriage is to me is kind of probably like just a milestone, just like like bigger fish to fry, in quotes, right? So like okay, we get married. Okay, after we get married, then what else? Right, and that's why I see some people like
that's why some marriages get boring because
exactly
after they get married,
which is just
that's all the milestone that they have. They don't have next step. They don't have any ideas on what to do next.
That's just exactly what I was about to say.
Starting up businesses or investment or building a future together, traveling the world, having apart from kids, because for most couples after they just get married,
we have kids, and then what?
That's all.
Right?
They don't have anything exciting coming for them. They don't have. It makes I don't know. Man.
And that's what I tell people. Like when you're going into marriage, right? It's good to like have like kind of like shared vision, right? It's good to have shared vision, and once you are starting a family, there has to be a family goal. A family goal is what gives the family an identity. Your family needs to have an identity, and that's the identity you are going to pass on to your kids. So when your kids goes out into the society, they have an idea of who they are, right? It's just when we started this podcast and we asked me, am I from like a royal home and stuff like that, right? I have that understanding. I'm from like royalty, right? Same thing if you teach your kids, you are from royalty. This is who we are. In our family, this is what we do. This is how we do things, right? Even when they go there and then there's peer pressure of, let's do this. No, that's not who I am. This is why, they know who they are. You've taught them that over time. Even from when they are kids, not all that, no, when they are all grown and probably like in their teenage years, and you now want to be like instilling like some kind of like discipline into them. And this all backtracks to like when you start the marriage, you have like a goal for the family.
Thank you.
Right.
Let's get into it. We have another story here.
Okay.
Which is the one we're going to use to wrap up before we get into our final segment for the show.
Right.
So let's get into the cruise control again. My boyfriend and I have been having issues prior to pregnancy, but we're working through it. Now that our baby is here, it really only seems like we are just roommates. There is no romance, no sweet talk like babe, boo, pookie, or whatever. Just bro or dude. We argue constantly about every little thing. He works and tends to sleep on the couch now to sleep comfortably, which I understand, but it seriously feels like our love died a long time ago. I do feel that if we hadn't had our daughter, then we would have broken up a while ago. It feels as if our love for each other fell out. The spark is gone. Has any couple had the same issues?
I think we answered this question already in some of our conversation.
Into it because
I think we answered this already, right? Which is what is the purpose of the marriage in the first place?
First of all, they are not married. She said BF, boyfriend.
Oh, boyfriend.
So if they're just dating,
okay.
And I think this is
what was the purpose of the relationship? Let's use in this context, relationship in the first place.
They
right?
probably had plans to stay together for a longer time, and they had a baby. I feel like addressing the issue in this particular one here, it goes beyond them just like having a child or whatever. I feel like it goes back to what we said, that most relationships lost that spark over time, and I don't know what causes it, because it could vary from couples to couple.
What I would say is, if you want something to thrive, you have to nurture it, right? You might have a plant, all right, but how do you want this plant to like grow taller and get greener and stuff like that? Every day, some people are plant lovers, and you see them every day. They are dedicated. Every day they go to the plant. They are watering it. They are doing this. They are weeding it. They this and that, cultivating, nurturing this thing. And then what happens when you cultivate and nurture it? It thrives. It grows. Right. Same thing with your relationship. You have to nurture it. Right. You have to be intentional. You can't just leave it to space or to nature to define what your relationship is going to be like. right? You have to be intentional about like nurturing it. It's very good, right? Before you get to that point of, oh, now I have a baby and I feel like, oh, our love has grown thin and all of those, right? It's very, very important. Like set the right foundation, right? Both of you have.
But
like,
these are things that happen even people that set foundation already. I feel like
so when you say the foundation, even like in buildings, right? Some people like they have like a building after like doing like a very good foundation, and there's something that they do like you can rework on the foundation again.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like
Exactly.
Because even if you have the foundation set and you guys knew exactly what you were getting into, I feel like over time, because we are human, we tend to probably grow apart, or not even just growing apart. We all have individual
Life
personality,
happens.
and like things could change for you as a person that might not particularly align with your other partner. I feel like that is where you guys consciously knowing that you have to grow together and be actively working towards like building this thing together. Having that conversation is what I would say.
Which is why it's important to like be involved in each other's lives, right? And I would just say this to wrap up this like question. The truth about it is, you see some people when they want to start dating, they'll be like, "Oh, what's your love language?" My love language is quality time. My love language is like gifts, right? But you have to understand like there are some situations in life that will happen, and your love language is going to change.
Yes.
Right. For example, you've seen people like maybe like women after they have kids. If they say, "Oh, my love language is
before
like
was gifts,
receiving gifts,"
act of service,
or probably like quality time. I need to like help me with this, help with that. So like we have to have that understand like some things change based off what stage we are in life,
yeah.
Right? And we have to like be very alert to when those changes are taking place to be able to like weather the storm at that point in time.
Yeah, and also sometimes you might not even notice it. Maybe your partner will notice it. Just making sure that you guys.
And that's why you communicate, right? Once you start like notice some changes, if I'm dating someone and I start like notice some changes, then I can question it. Oh, I'm thinking this and that. Then you can question it just to be sure, like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's just you thinking about it, or they're actually going through that change and now seeing how you can be of help. Which brings us back to like you've been like willing to like give. Not about what you can receive, right?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Much.
All right, thank you. Let's get into the rapid Q&A question.
Okay.
This is the part where I'll ask you a question and you just respond to me.
Okay.
In the speed of light.
Okay. Okay.
First date. If you're going on a first date, would you go to a fancy restaurant or a street food?
I wouldn't. I think that's tricky, but I think I would do street food. Those options are not the best options, but
it could be fun. I feel like street food could be fun.
Yeah.
But if it's a first date, I'll probably want to be taken to a fancy restaurant. I'm sorry. Soft launching a relationship online, yay or nay?
From what?
Soft launching. You know how they soft launch? Do you know what soft launch means?
No, I don't know.
You're not chronicling online. Soft launch when you are posting your partner's hands, their feet.
Oh, soft launching.
You're soft launching it.
I'm indifferent about that.
Yay or nay?
I'll
say yay. Don't just fully launch it. Just
I'll say yeah. So I don't end up becoming like that person like they don't celebrate their partner.
Weekend getaway or long vacation?
Weekend getaway. Frequent weekend getaways than long vacations. Yeah, I think I like
Public display of affection, for or against it?
For.
100%.
Yeah.
Couples therapy, regularly or only when you have crisis?
I say regularly, but then if you are choosing like a couple therapy, you have to be careful who you choose. Because some people like going to therapy not having problems and come back with problems.
With problems, yeah,
right?
that would be an issue.
So you have to be careful who your therapist is.
Don't come back with problems.
Exactly. Don't go to a therapist that will even like help you to like establish problems
that you never had.
Exactly.
That's so crazy. All right, this is the part where we are getting into our Sabi or no Sabi question. Sabi means you agree, it makes sense to you. No Sabi means like you're like maybe not. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Cohabiting before commitment, Sabi or no Sabi? Checking your partner's phone when they are in the shower, Sabi or no Sabi? Sabi. You should check your partner's
I would say no Sabi.
Maybe not when they're in the shower, but you should be able to check.
But I'm a firm believer of you should be able to like have access to your spouse's phone for whatever reason. But like just checking, looking for what.
Okay, if that's the case, then no Sabi. But like you should be able to check your partner's phone.
Yeah, you should be able to like
All right. Going on vacation before you become official. Vacation, Sabi or no Sabi?
I can say Sabi.
I'll say Sabi. It helps you get to know them before you commit.
Yeah, but then you can, like I said, set boundaries.
What boundaries?
Right.
If you are going on a vacation, you're doing shit now. There's no, you're sharing rooms.
I've seen people go and they share different rooms. I've seen it happen.
Share different rooms. Okay.
Yeah,
I wish you
I've
guys
seen it
the very
happen.
best. Having a joint account before marriage, Sabi or no Sabi?
No, Sabi,
I don't
before
think
marriage,
so.
no.
Yeah.
Nah.
No. But there are some people, they are common law partners, so they have a joint account.
Well, that's a different case, but
Travel with
I'll
partner
still say
over
no Sabi.
friend, Sabi or no Sabi?
partner over friends.
Yes. Sabi. The only person I want to be in
I'll
bed
say
with
no
at
Sabi.
9 p.m. is my partner.
Yeah, I'll say no, sir. Yeah.
For me, it's Sabi, yes. But
Like
for
travel,
you, no.
travel was sorry, what's the question? Travel with partner over friend. Yeah. Sabi.
It's too late. It's too late.
I got the question wrong.
It's too late. All right. Your final open-ended question. What is one habit that you believe makes a relationship last?
Teachability. Let me say.
Love that.
I'll say teachability.
My definition of romance has changed over time because
Different scenarios. It could be like recent happenings in life or whatever. It could be due to like so many reasons.
love that. If you could give one message or advice to your younger self about love, what would it be?
I think I would probably like what I know right now about love. I would have learned it probably like way back. Yeah, I think that's something like I like put more like I would have learned or probably like be more dedicated to like learning more about love and the systems that surround it and all of those. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much, Adebare, for coming to this episode of Sabi Cruise. Thank you for your realness and your authenticity. This was so much fun. If you enjoyed watching this episode, definitely subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and rate the podcast as well. This really does help the channel grow.
If you enjoyed it, try to bring me for like episode
part 2. Let us know if you want to see him another time.
So drop in your questions. If I'm unable to answer it, via the comments, maybe we'll come back for episode 2. We'll see.
Yes.
Or maybe that one we have to make it a paid session because all this knowledge we are this share,
Thank you for cruising with us on this episode of Sabi Cruise. If something we discussed today hits home, don't keep it to yourself. Comment below what resonated with you and share this podcast with your people. Hit the follow button, leave a quick review so that others can find us. Until next time, keep thriving, keep learning. You sabi or you know sabi. You already know we sabi better.